the city of dope. It couldn't be saved by John the Pope, cause a basement never sees the light. Two fat raps to the head last night. Cocaine, cocaine, is that your rap? Every day and night it's coming back. C-O-C-A-I-N-E, the rich man's high is what it used to be, but things look different in 85. Cocaine, cocaine, is that your high? Since age 13, what have I seen? A lot of base kids, straight coke fiends, snorting, puffing, that's the life. But it's all over when you hit that pipe. Big coke tripping on the knot, all smoked out with no more rock. Base kids buy coke from him, but he smokes more than all of them. The big coke man ain't too cool, he smokes more than all you fools. He's got a lot of dough, but not a lot of bank. A brand new car with an empty tank. Pretty white smoke all in his chest, and that info ends repossessed. Girl, that's your life, don't do it. Girl, smoking that glass pipe, don't do it. Fresh young teen, only 15, walking on the street, just wanna be seen. Never touched coke a day in her life, but now that girl's gotta have her pipe. Cause she met a man, his name was Jock. Do it to him good and he smoked a rock. Put it in a joint, all crunched up, and now every day she takes a puff. Girl, that's your life, don't do it. Girl, smoking that glass pipe. I know you know what coke can do. Come into your life and take over you. Now you're kicking back, thinking about your dream, but it never comes true, cause you're just a coke fiend. You asked your woman, what's the problem? She said it's you, cause you don't do your job. Used to make good love from the start, but now the coke deep damage to your private parts. Girl, that's your life. Girl, smoking that glass pipe. Your mind is gone, your brain is blank. You've been wide awake for the last 3 days. Inhale, exhale, you don't care. Coke smoke only, no fresh air. You can't even talk, you don't wanna listen. You and your buddy on a cocaine mission. 3 days straight, where's your mind? It's gone out of town and your brain is fried. Just smoke and choke until you're broke. Just smoke that coke until you broke. And it would be, I can't lie, no big loss if you should die. Cause your life is wrecked. Your girl was checked, she chose on me and I was set. I took her home to make my move, but she wanted to bet she's just like you. Girl, that's your life, don't do it. Girl, smoking that glass pipe, don't do it. You saved your money for a year and a half. You're so damn stupid, you make me laugh. Bought a car co-signed by daddy, a 1980 Fleetwood Cat. You drove that car every place until that day when you first danced. Look at it now, the real big willer. Sold that caddy to a big coke dealer. Girl, that's your life, don't do it. Girl, just smoke that glass pipe, don't do it. When you base coke until you're broke, where I come from, we call you smoke. S-M-O-K-E-D. To smoke more coke is all you need. You say coke is it, it's all that counts. It's got more ounce to the bounce. It put your life in a state of shock. Got you singing to yourself, I'm the king of rock. Girl, that's your life, don't do it. Girl, smoking that glass pipe. Watch made you, and now you simp. 7 hookers and 1 down pimp. If you never base in the first place, there's no way you could pimp today. Cause it got too sprung, and you said, look, I gotta have money cause smoked you out. Girl, that's your life. Girl, smoking that glass pipe. You say don't knock until you try it. It costs too much, I'll never buy it. So I won't try it, and you should knock it. You always have coke in your pocket. Wherever you go in this world, it's not just you, it's you and that girl. You love Snow White, she's your life. Smoking that coke in a glass pipe. Girl, too short. You needed some money and your girl came through. Now you're gonna smoke for an hour or two. But that's not true, that's what you thought. Fake base rocks is what you bought from some young girl. One some street, one sick base here just got beat. Got his rocks and rushed him home. Put it on the pipe and they just foam. One sick base here lost all hope. Thought he brought coke and just bought soap. Got his gun and you got shot. Some young punk at the base rock spot. Standing out there all alone. One base hit, his mind was gone. He had to shoot cause someone got one base hit with a fake base rock. Girl, that's your life. Girl, smoking that glass pipe. It's the COCAINE. The rich man's eyes what it used to be. But things look different in 85. Cocaine, cocaine, the whole world's high. Wherever I go, in any town, you know cocaine is all around. Right now, today, in 85. You better stop smoking while you're still alive. Girl, that's your life. Girl, smoking that glass pipe. That's your life. Smoke that glass pipe. That's your life. Just smoke that glass pipe. Girl.
All right, so I know that's a little lengthy song. The reason why I play this song because I want to speak about this a little bit. And it's not necessarily like the song says about coke or crack cocaine. It's about any all kinds of drugs, rather it's a legal drug or illegal drug, whatever the addiction is. That's what I want to speak about today. And it's a sad thing. And the reason why I started with this song because one particular person that had an addiction. This was one of their favorite songs, of many. I'm going to end it with this person's another one of their favorite songs. So there's a reason why I picked these two songs. There's so many other songs I could pick. I wanted to do a James Brown song that talks a little bit about about things, how it takes your life and change people's lives, and how it's an addiction. Um, which I was gonna play, but the reason why I didn't play it because YouTube flagged me for it before in the past. And these two songs I played before YouTube didn't flag me. I really want this video to post. And that and these two songs is this person's two of this person's favorite songs. So that's why I'm gonna play these two songs because it matches the what I want to talk about. Another song that would have been better for me to finish it with, which I'm not gonna finish it with, was "What Would You Do When the Party's Over." I really wanted to finish this video with that song, but I want to finish it with another song. So I want to talk about addiction, rather if it's a legal addiction, alcoholic addiction. My thing is this, all right? Being addicted to something, it's a sad thing. It's sad. And I want to speak a little bit about uh, about this. I'll try to make it as short as possible because these two songs are a little lengthy. So I want to make it as short as possible. So, being addiction is a sad thing. It's a sad thing, and it's sad. You see people on the corner, or people that are homeless. Not all homeless people are addicted to drugs or alcohol, though. So you can't never judge a book by its cover. Trust me, I know this personally. But the sad thing, a lot of homeless people does have an addiction, and you got to remember when you walk by some homeless person and they're sitting there talking to themselves or sitting there having a fat conversation or just off, don't laugh at them, don't make fun of them, because that's somebody's relatives, that's somebody's loved one, that's somebody's dad, mom, sister, aunt, uncle, grandson, grandkid. They're related to somebody, and their loved ones unfortunately are watching them suffer. And so that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to bring this up. Usually I talk about this, raising awareness of drinking and driving. As I was in a way of a drunk driver, that's what caused me to be completely blind and one leg and multiple surgery. Medically, I'm supposed to be just a memory, but instead I'm making new memories, and I'm able to make this video here today. And you know, I like in my case, for example, ironically, I wasn't a drinker. I just happened to get hit by a drunk driver. I used to be the designated driver. So I do drink every once in a blue moon, very rarely. But I do have my moments. Say, all right, you know what? I'll do it. And it sucks now, when I do drink. If I drink once in a while, I will. Uh, Being blind with one leg now when I'm drinking. If I do drink, I'm like I said, it's very rare. I just so happen to have a wall jump in my way and try and trip me and shit. That ain't cool. But all jokes aside, um, being addicted to something is a sad situation. It can it takes a person's life slowly, and they don't quit in time. It's gonna take their life. Being addicted to something takes them away from their families slowly. Their family watches them suffer. Their family watches them. Uh, so before I go any further, I want to tell you a story, a personal story. Back many, 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 many moons ago, um, I had a individual I was talking to. We were having a conversation, and we were communicating, and we were talking. We were having a good conversation, and he was explaining to me. He goes, "Look, he asked me, what's the worst kind of cereal? Yeah, I can't. A lot of things I can't pronounce right since my accident, as I got multiple surgeries, and my whole right side of my face was numb, and so a lot of words I can't pronounce anymore. But anyways, like in my case, for example, it wasn't my choice. It wasn't my choice to be in this drunk driver's way. It wasn't drunk driver's choice to run into me. But unfortunately, it happened. And but in my case, I didn't have a choice. I lived, and I'm proud of it. I'm blessed. I'm grateful for that. I'm not paralyzed. I could be a lot worse. I'm not dead like the hospital thought I was going to be. They were already telling my family to pull the plug on me, but I'm here. And the only thing I did was got multiple surgeries still to go. Went through multiple surgeries. I lost my leg, and I'm completely blind. But that wasn't by choice. That wasn't my choice. Now, when somebody has an addiction, that becomes a choice they slowly make. They get addicted to it, so they keep wanting it. And speaking to addicts and speaking to ex-addicts, your addiction comes so bad to where your body started to hurt. It starts to crave the stuff, whatever you're addicted to. And so, just one time, you could want to try to stop just this one time, just to take this away. But that only lasts for so long, and then it goes away. Then your body starts craving again. Your body starts going in pain, and you need it again. You start getting sick. That's how you become addicted. And it's sad all the way around. I've But that's how you become addicted. But it becomes by choice. You wind up picking it over your family members. You wind up losing your kids, your house, your wife, your job. You wind up losing everything over an addiction, and it even comes to the point where you wind up losing your life over it. So this person was explaining this to me, right? He was explaining, what's the worst kind of serial, I can't pronounce this. Sorry about that. Serial killer out there, and they don't even realize they're a killer, and they're killing people's families in the worst way. The way this person broke it down to me was in my head. It reminded me of a certain person that I was close of, and I was like, wow, the way they broke it down was like, man, that's some real shit right there. You know, so the way half fast. I want to make a long story short. The way this person was breaking it down to me was they're taking somebody's family, killing them, slowly. The family's watching them start, and not everybody does this, but a lot of people start stealing from their own families. One thing they do is they start spending it on whatever their addiction is, and it takes away from food from the house. It takes away from their responsibilities. It takes away from their jobs. It takes them away slowly, and their family has to watch them suffer slowly. And then, so he broke it down a lot like that, and it made so much sense to me. I was like, wow, I was enthused by it, and it made me look at things a lot differently after that. And in time, that's what maybe, for example, the other day we were driving, and there was a guy on the side downtown. He had a rope, and he was walking his leash behind him like he was walking a dog, and he kept turning back and talking to whatever he thought that he was walking. And my youngest son, yelled out the window, say, "Hey, nice dog!" And he didn't say it to make fun of him. He didn't say it to make it a joke. He said it because felt sorry for him. And but you can tell just that split second, it made this person feel good. Like, thank you, thank you. He's a nice dog, ain't he? And he's like, yeah, he's a beautiful dog. And we drove off. But for that split second, it made this person feel better, because he wasn't being laughed at. He wasn't being, he was being talked to as a human being. As in his head, he really thought he was walking a dog, but he wasn't. So, it becomes, addictions become so bad where it will literally, I mean, everybody parties, everybody does their things. Some people choose to do it, some people don't. And the ones that does choose to do it, if they do it like every once in a while, no problem. That's cool. That's on you, to each their own. And there's people that can control it and don't get addicted to it. They just do it to have fun. And there's people that gets addicted to it, and it winds up pulling them away from their family. It winds up, in the long run, it winds up taking their lives. So I had a good friend of mine recently, uh, a friend of the family, you can say. And I was talking to her, and she was like, I seen, blah 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 at the corner, and this person was, on their bike talking to themselves, and there's a car full of younger guys. I don't know. I don't remember if she had said they were younger. They were like teenagers, but I do remember she said it was a car full of younger guys, and they were right next to the person, her family member. They were right next to her family member that she's seen on the corner, just having a fat conversation with himself, and they were laughing at him, and they were making jokes of him, kind of talking shit to him. This person didn't even realize that they were laughing at him and talking shit to them. And me being close to this family, that even hurt me a little bit. Like, yeah, that's excuse my language, but that's fucked up. And it's sad because, she was like, all I can do is pray for this person. And again, I want to go back many, many, many moons ago. Uh, a good friend of mine's, when he was telling me about his cousin was getting messed up on, and in this case, like I said, addiction. I'm not going to say what addiction his cousin was on, but he was saying his cousin was on, this certain addiction. And, his aunt and his mom's always going to his aunt's house because the aunt's always crying, stressing every time he leaves the house for a couple of days. Every time, he takes off. Every time, they always start crying, and they were real religious, real religious. They were Catholics. They would start praying the rosary and pray that he would get back. And when he was home, it was like a little break, but it wasn't, because he would still talk shit to the people in the house. And then, and then, you know, so a friend used to always talk to me about this, and my friend left to the service. You know, he left to the service, and his cousin wound up passing away, and his aunt and his mom wound up coming up to me because I was there at the services. Wound up coming up to me and said, "I know this obviously me. I know my son used to always always talk to you, and he tell me all the time, anything happens, talk to Alice Manuel, go talk to Manuel." And in this case, they did. They came up to me. They were talking to me, and the aunt was telling me, "It's a relief. It's sad to say, but it's a relief because I no longer have to stress over my son. I no longer have to worry about it. I mean, the pain's still there, but I can sleep in peace now." And that always stuck in my head. And it's just crazy because addiction can pull people away from having relationships with friends, with family members, with their own kids. Addiction is a sad thing. And it's been bothering me. I've been just woke up this morning. It was, what, it's on my mind. I want to make a quick little video of it. And I want to cut it short because the next song I play is also a little lengthy. Just something I want to bring up. Next time you see somebody, you walk driving downtown, wherever you're from, wherever you're at. I remember this video. If you see somebody, sitting there talking to themselves, or whatever the case may be, somehow, some way they've been traumatized, and it caused them to become an addict. I mean, it's not an excuse, but it's a sad thing because they have family members that are hurting over them, and they're related to somebody somehow, some way, and their relationship, they have to watching them, or don't know where they're at, or stressing over them. So instead of laughing at them, I'm not saying feel sorry for them, but have a little compassion and say, "Damn," say a little prayer for them, because addiction is a bitch. And rather, if it's a legal substance, rather it's alcohol, rather it's coke, crystal, heroin, okay, it doesn't matter what it is. Addiction is a bitch. And that's why I kind of want to make this video, because when driving down, I hear, even before I got in an accident, and I lost my eyesight and all that, I see a lot of people walking across the street just flipping out, just flipping out. Matter of fact, just the other day, uh, I went to the store with my kids and Kim, and we heard some guy yelling. I was like, and me, being blind, I don't know what's going on. I got my service dog, luckily, and my kids and stuff, but I don't know what's going on. It was close to the car, and this guy started yelling, "Get the fuck away from me!" And he's like flipping out. I was like, "What's going on? What's going on?" Right away I start panicking, because I don't know what's going on, and it sounded real close to the car. And they were like, "Oh, some guy, he's all twacked out right here next to. They're like two cars down. He was at the lights. You know, we were at the lights. He goes, "Who's he yelling at?" Oh, just he's yelling at himself. You know, he's fighting with himself pretty much. I was like, oh, okay, cool. You know, made me feel a little better, but still made me feel like sad for this person. Even though I know he did it to himself, you know, that was caused by his own choices in life. But at the same time, you know, it's still not funny. You know, it's still not, oh, he's a twat. Oh, you know, it's still not talk shit about him. You know, it's just you gotta have some because some people do it. I mean, it's not excuse. You know, some people pull away from it for trauma in their life, and some people use that as an excuse to. It's an excuse for them to become an addict. You know, well, you know, I had this, I seen that, I seen this. You know, I walked in on my wife. You know, coming home from a rehab, trying to correct myself, and that pushed me more to it, or whatever the situation may be. You know, I'm not talking about any certain situation, just in general. And so, you know, do me a favor, you guys. You know, next time, one, you know, my channel usually I'm playing music or I'm talking about raising awareness, talking about my story. Speaking of my story, so my last school I spoke to, I'm giving it a little break because you know it's hard on my family. The ripple effect ain't no joke. We go through it every single day for what happened to me, and financially, and you know all that stuff. But you know, I speak at the high schools now. I speak at DUI class. I speak at public events about raising awareness about drinking and driving. And so, you know, my family's like, you know what? So the last school I spoke to was May 5th. May 6th, I made a video because September 18th is going to make 5 years to the day. So I made a video to drop for May for September 18th. And I already made the video. My family just got to do the last little couple touches to it. And then we're going to premiere it for September 18th. But, you know, like they say, it's hard for my family because it brings back a lot of flashbacks, a lot of memories of that day. And every time I go speak, it brings them back to that day. So they haven't did the final touches to it yet because again, it brings them back to that day. And so I'm taking, you know, a little time off from speaking at, you know, events and stuff just to give my family a break. You know, me, I'm passionate about it and I want to go out there. I want to do it. I want to, you know, raise awareness. I want to raise, and I'm not saying don't drink. I'm not saying don't, you know, party or do your thing. Just be more responsible and don't become addicted. You know, there's family members that, you know, we lost to not drinking and driving, but drinking it generally. You know, they couldn't quit. So it wind up ruining their liver. And even though being told medically wise, they still kept drinking and wound up taking their life. Same thing with addiction, rather whatever it may be. You know, it's a sad thing, but you know that's choices people make in life. And there's times where people don't have choices. Like myself, I didn't have a choice, but I became in this predicament. And me, I look at it I try to look at it in a positive way to where, okay, you know what? Now I'm saving lives. You know, now even though my family's going through what we're going through, regardless, you know, I'm still trying to save life to help families not go through what we're going through. And in my case, could have been a lot worse. I could have been paralyzed. You know, I could have been double amputee. You know, I could have been, you know, I got a leg. I'm able to walk. It may hurt when I walk because my femur's not healed yet. My knee, I still need a knee replacement. My shoulder's still healing. My face still, my right side feels half numb half the times. Well, all the time. Um, but I'm here and I'm blessed to be here. And I'm doing these speeches. I'm doing these talks at the, you know, raising awareness of drinking and driving because it is something I'm passionate about because I didn't have that choice. You know, I wasn't the one drinking and driving. I didn't have that choice. I was just on my way to work and woke up from a coma some months later, hearing the doctor telling my family, hey, pull the plug. He's not going to live. He has no chance. And then again, hearing them, he's not going to have no brain memory with all the brain damage he took, because I did have a brain bleed. But I didn't have that choice. So that's why I'm talking about addiction, because addiction can be a bitch, plain and simple. There's no easy way to put it. Addiction could be a bitch. So if it wasn't for this person's addiction for drinking and driving, I wouldn't be in this predicament. It's just an example. And so that's why I'm speaking on this, because addiction can be a bitch. And addiction affects people in so many different ways. It kills them slowly. It can cause all your organs to die out and stop working and make you suffer internally. You see these people out there in the streets talking to themselves. They're suffering internally. They're not suffering. I'm pretty sure they knew that they were going to get addicted to it the way they do, and they probably wouldn't have made that choice. But unfortunately, they did. But these people are suffering internally. Mentally, they're no longer there no more. Mentally, so have some kind of compassion and say prayer for them instead of laughing at them. So I want to end it with that, because this next song is a little lengthy song as well. There's so much more I can speak on this, but I'm not, because I don't want this video to be too long, especially with the two songs I'm gonna play. This last song, like I said, I wanted to end it with what would you do with the party when the party's over? But instead, I want to end it with this song, because a certain person that had an addiction, he finally kicked this person finally kicked the addiction. And, these were two of his favorite songs. So I want to go ahead and end it with this song right here. Again, it's another Too Short song. And remember, you guys, make sure, perfect example, because you never know. For example, you never know. So always make sure you tell your loved ones you love them before you leave the house, or before you leave your loved ones, because you're not guaranteed to make it home or see your loved ones again. With that said, be blessing, stay blessed. I'm out.
Talking about the ghetto, funky ghetto, trying to survive, trying to stay alive. The ghetto, talking about the ghetto, funky ghetto. Even though the streets are bumpy, lights burn out, dope fiends die with a pipe in their mouth. Old school buddies not doing it right. Every day it's the same, and it's the same every night. I wouldn't shoot you, bro, but I'd shoot that fool. He played me close and tried to test my cool. Every day I wonder just how I die. Only thing I know is how to survive. There's only one rule in the real world, and that's to take care of you, only you and yours. Keep dealing with the hard times day after day. Might deal me some dope, but then crime don't pay. Black man trying to break in my house again. Thought he got off the dope, doing time to the pen. Even though my brothers do me just like that, I get a lot of love, so I'm giving it back. The ghetto, talking about the ghetto, the ghetto, funky ghetto, the ghetto, trying to live our lives. The ghetto, won't you tell about it too short? So just keep the game and don't call it crap, cause to me, life is one part rap. Even though my sister smoked crack cocaine, she was 9 months pregnant, ain't nothing changed. 600 million on the football team, and her baby died just like a dope fiend. The story I tell is so incomplete. 5 kids in the house, no food to eat. Don't look at me and don't ask me why. Mama's next door, getting high. Even though she's got 5 mouths to feed, she'd rather spend her money on the HIT. I always tell the truth about things like this. I wonder if the mayor overlooked that list. Instead of adding to the task force, send some help. Waiting on him, I better help myself. Housing Authority and the OPD, all these guns just to handle me. The ghetto, people are dying. The ghetto, children are crying. The ghetto, so us down and call us animals. We make real big banks and buy brand new clothes. Drive fancy cars, make love to stars. Never really saying just who we are. We use alias names like Too Short. Sell your stuff you might kill for. Young kids grow up and that's all they know. Didn't teach him in school, now he's slanging dope. Only thing he knows is how to survive. But will he kill another brother before he dies in the ghetto? You keep one eye open all day long, just hoping and hoping you can pay your bills and not drink too much. Then the problems of life you'll be throwing up like me. But you don't see 10 years from now, where will you be? The ghetto, talking, trying to get out of the ghetto. The ghetto, talking, but I got no place to go. The ghetto, talking, trying to survive in the heart of the ghetto. The ghetto, cause that's the only place that I know. So much game in a Too Short rap. Can't be white and whites can't be black. Why you wanna act like someone else? All you gotta do is just be yourself. We're all the same color underneath. Short dog is in the house, you better listen to me. Never be ashamed of what you are. Proud to be black, stand tall and hard. Even though some people give you no respect, be intelligent when you put them in check. Cause when you're ignorant, you get treated that way. And when they throw you in jail, you got nothing to say. So if you don't listen, it's not my fault. I'll be getting paid and you'll be paying the cost. Sitting in the jailhouse running your mouth while me and my people try to get out. The ghetto, talking about the ghetto. Ghetto, talking about the ghetto. Talking about the trying to survive. The ghetto, talking about the trying to stay alive. The ghetto, talking about the funky ghetto.